ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। शृण्वतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनः हृदयन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति सुहृत्सताम् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी तदा रजस्तमो भाव काम लोभादयश्च ये चेतयेतैरनाविद्धं सिद्धं सत्त्वे प्रसीदति एवं प्रसन्न मनसो भगवद्भक्ति योगतः भगवत्तत्व विज्ञानं मुक्त संगस्य जायते भिद्यते हृदय ग्रंथिस् छिद्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषये क्षीयन्ते चास्य कर्माणि दृष्ट एवात्मनीश्वरे तो वै कवयो नित्यं अतो वै कवयो नित्यं भक्तिं परमयामुदा वासुदेवे भगवती कुर्वन्त्यात्मा प्रसादनी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादां सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी
वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये।
नमो महावदन्याय प्रेम
कृष्ण प्रेम
कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री
श्रीवासादि
गौर भक्त वृंद हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
हरे
कृष्ण
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 हरे
कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम
हरे
हरे
राम
राम
हरे
राम
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 हरे
राम हरे हरे।
हरे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण।
जय। Today we will cover his lecture primarily by Keshavanand Prabhu, where he has talked about taking from the primary all our scriptures, and he quotes Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's other books, etc. And he says that he has compiled a compilation of all of these different scriptures. He has come up with you can say, the four levels of bhakti. by which we can help gauge where we stand in bhakti and how we can move forward in bhakti. So, what we are trying to say here, first of all, we want to understand what is bhakti, what is the problem that we are trying to solve. The problem, because unless we understand what problem we are trying to solve, what the goal we are trying to reach, we will not be able to take proper steps in that direction. So, the problem that we are trying to solve is only one. And that is, my dear friends, relationship with our Lord. Relationship with our only source, our only master, our only shelter. That relationship with that person is the problem, is the only problem actually that we have. That is the whole, because that is the whole goal, because that is the only problem we have. Okay. So, how to develop this relationship? Okay, we will come to that. But before we try to, I just, the first point I just want to understand is, how do I know I'm progressing? Is how is my relationship with the Lord progressing? How is my relationship with the Lord progressing? That is the scale by which, how am I progressing in bhakti? How is my relationship with Krishna progressing? That is the way we move forward. Okay. Now, there are different levels in which, if we even see the relationship in this world, they are at different levels. So first, I'm putting it at like kind of a level 0 here. You can say a level 0, where basically there is essentially no relationship. Okay. Or you may know something about him, but you're not actually, the main point is you're not trying to even get into that relationship. This is the point. Not even trying to establish the relationship. That's the level 0. You're not even trying to establish the relationship. Okay. So that's level 0. In that, you can kind of say that there is no relationship at all. This is people who are essentially either intentionally or unintentionally, these people could be atheists, or just completely mooders, foolish. They don't even want to do anything with God. They're just busy in their complete sense, only busy in sense certification. In fact, we can put the 4 types of people who never approach Krishna in this category. That could be one thing, the Mudha, Maya, Naradhama, Maya, Aprita, Jnana. The 4 types, they all fall under this. Because they don't have any, they don't want to try to develop any relationship. Mudha, Naradhama, Maya, ya Parhita, Jnana. And
Asura.
So these 4, if I can have your darshan, Prabhu, that will be such a great blessing. You close the altar.
Give me 2 minutes. I'm actually listening. I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
I will
this
come back
these
in 2 minutes.
the four types of people who don't even, what is their main point? They don't even want to develop a relationship. They don't want to develop any relationship. This is their main thing. And Prabhupada, and then they call, Krishna calls them Dushtiti. They are most unfortunate people. They don't even want to develop a relationship. So Muda were just completely busy in doing whatever the Naradhama. They may be very socially accomplished and all of that, but still they don't want to do anything. Maya Paritagyana, very knowledgeable and all that, but the knowledge, their knowledge and their intelligence has been stolen by Maya. Although they are so knowledgeable and all of that, they're completely absorbed in the material thing. And Asura is the people who are deliberately against. Yeah. So some of these people may know something about God, like Maya Paritagyana, others, they may know something about God. They may know something about it, but their desire is not to develop any relationship. So we can see in our practical example, there are so many people, in general, in people in this world, you meet somebody, you know of him and all that, but you don't have a desire to develop any relationship with them. Right? That's the very common this thing. We know of them and all that, but we don't want to develop any relationship. And again, actually, I would like to remind here, as all these sessions we are taking and all that, one of the things which is a very common strong theme, as I told about, is, experts. It means extremely personal philosophy. Anything, every time that we talk about in Bhakti, we remember this point that Krishna is a person. Even at this point, I can remember Krishna is a person. Krishna is a person. Our only biggest problem is we are forgetting actually the fact that Krishna is a person. If we remember Krishna is a person at every time, then the way we hear the lectures, the way we read the books. So just remember this one thing. I have talked about this experts philosophy. Always remember basically remember this one thing. Krishna is a person. Always remember this. And then we will be able to follow that thing that we always remember Krishna. But in that always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. Always remember Krishna is a person. Always remember Krishna. But what is the primary aspect of Krishna? Krishna is a person. And he is the bestest person. Then you will come to the bestest person. That will follow to that, the next level. First, remember he's a person. Second, remember that he's the bestest person. So it's obvious that I want to serve him and I want to develop my relationship with him. So as long as he remember my lost relationship, I had a relationship with him, I have broken that relationship, I'm such a nonsense. I want to develop my broken relationship with him. Broken is an even better word. Broken relationship. I broke that relationship. So if you keep that in mind, doesn't matter what lecture you are hearing, what book you are reading, doesn't matter what you are doing, while reading, while serving, while eating, sleeping, it doesn't matter when, what you are doing, while working at your workplace, whatever, always try to remember this, never try to forget, never to forget. This, at least in my practical, this thing, I have felt that when I'm saying this, I would want to practice it. We can remind ourselves of this. So like we were discussing yesterday also, all the lectures you are hearing, beautiful lectures. Instead of trying to think of them as so much as points that we want to know, etc., like that, we can always connect the minutest thing to the point that Krishna is a person. It's like what we were discussing yesterday, how unfortunate people want to merge into God or merge into the body of the Lord. But always remember at the back of our minds that how unfortunate is that they don't want to develop a relationship with Krishna. And I am in the same way impersonal too. I'm getting lost in the jnana. I'm forgetting the point that I want to develop my relationship with Krishna. And all of these other things, essentially, they may be higher than gross material gratification, but they're completely missing the point. Actually, they're missing the primary point. That's the main thing. And today we have here a very esteemed personality, His Grace Anurag Sharma Prabhu, who is also gracing us on the side here. So we offer our obeisances to Anurag Sharma Prabhu also. So, so that is the whole primary point I'm trying to say here. If we don't remember that, then we are not really progressing towards it. So my most negative point about level 0 is that they don't want to develop any relationship with Krishna, whether they are Mura, Naradama, Maya, Pratyajnana. And we can see practically they treat Krishna, either they don't believe in Krishna, they don't understand Krishna, etc., or they treat Krishna as we treat the people in this world, who we don't care to have a relationship whether he exists or not. Imagine, that's the way they treat Krishna. Does that make sense? Okay, so they treat Krishna as we treat people in general in this world. Because we don't have any desire. You meet somebody on the road, you know of somebody, like, you can think, oh, yeah, I know this person. You may know of this person. You may know of a person, but you have no desire to develop any relationship. So that is the level 0, you can say. Okay. Then you come to level 1. And level 1 is where you now level 1 to 4 is where you want to develop a relationship with Krishna. So that change has happened. And those are you can say, so level 1 to 4, the point is you want to develop a relationship with Krishna. This is the primary thing. Okay, so that comes the 4 type of people who approach Krishna. And in that, there are 4 levels, as I said. You may know somebody, that is their acquaintance. That means you want to develop a relationship, you want to be a good acquaintance to the person. Yeah, I know this person and I actually do want a good connection with that person. He becomes like let's say a friend in some way. You want to, or a good, let's say, you can even call it as a business partner, frankly. In that sense, he's putting it. So the first level is where you get to know, it basically becomes like a business partner or a good acquaintance. Business partner or a good acquaintance. So the interesting thing in this one is that you are The interesting thing in this one is that you are primarily, if you think about, if you're trying to do business with somebody, you're a good acquaintance with somebody, your primary thing is you're trying to get something from that person. You try to get something from the person. And when you become happy when you are connected with the person, you get some business profit, etc. and all that. So you are getting actually some kind of ananda, happiness. So this is the primary aspect of this level where you're getting ananda or happiness. Now, I'm also quoting one verse which Prabhuji quotes in this lecture. There is a verse 11 to 42 which talks about that there are 3 benefits that you get when you eat a food. You get 3 benefits. Similarly, you get 3 benefits when you're doing bhakti. And those benefits are, you get satisfaction. That's when you eat food, you get satisfaction. That's called tushti. Okay. Or you get nourishment. That's called pushti. And finally, shuddha apaya. And shuddha apaya is you get your hunger gets subsided. Okay. Tushti, pushti, shuddha apaya. So these are 3 things which happen when you eat food. You become you get satisfaction, you get nourishment, and your hunger gets reduced. Similarly, in these different levels of bhakti, essentially, we get, in these different levels of bhakti, we get satisfaction, nourishment. These are the things that we get. And then something gets reduced. Some negative thing gets reduced. That is how you understand bhakti. Okay? Rakshana Prabhu is in a different mood today. So, okay. Now, if you try to so you see at level 1, level 1, when you are at the level of the relationship with God, of being just trying to be an acquaintance, then you get, what you get is ananda. He says what you're getting is ananda. Okay, happiness you get. You become happy in Krishna consciousness. That's level 1. And what gets reduced is you, like he says in the lecture, jangli pana reduce ho jata hai, which means you're so crazy about sense gratification before that. I want this, that, more money, more this enjoyment. That gets somewhat reduced. Indriya nigrahan. The senses are more, are not running wild, basically. Senses don't run wild, at least. That is the thing which happens. Senses don't run wild. Okay. And we will also now talk about what problems happen when you are at that level. You will not actually you may get ananda, but sometimes the ananda will go away, etc. And then you will not be really feeling deeper satisfaction, santushti. So at level 1, you get ananda. And so many of us are here only, actually. Because when you start developing the relation, you start coming to temple, etc. and all of that. You're coming to the temple, let's say, you attend some programs, all those kind of things, they start happening. Yeah. You're even associating with devotees somewhat. Because you have developed that, so you start getting ananda. And your senses are not running so wild. But the problem is you're not getting real deeper satisfaction. That is level 1. Real deeper satisfaction doesn't come. And your interest level still remains in the world. You're still interested so much in worldly accomplishments. That's the point. Still interested in worldly accomplishments. A lot about my name, whether it is money, name, fame, obviously, or to speak of women, so many of these things. All these are the standard things. Right? Well, not so many, there are only 4 of them. There is money, there is women, there is name, fame, and maybe even just knowledge for the sake of knowledge. These are only the 4 things, basically. So you are interested in these 4 things. Your interest level in these things remains. Knowledge for the sake of it, which is the higher side, but money, women, name and fame. That's it. So these 4 things, basically, you are still maintaining the interest. Okay. So this is basically level 1, where in a sense, you are connecting, you are visiting the temple, you are associating with devotees. All of those things are happening. That doesn't happen, obviously, in level 0, where you're not doing anything. That's the majority of the world. But here we're talking about somebody who got started. Visiting temple, associating with devotees, all of that is happening. Hearing class, and you're hearing some classes also. All of that is happening. Very good social connections, etc. are happening. All of that is happening here. And all that. So, okay, so it's going good. So a lot of people, he actually says in the class, 90% people just remain here. Anand aa raha hai, maza aa raha hai, acha lag raha hai, senses are not running so wild, and all of that is there. Okay. Now come to level 2. In level 2, you are trying to develop a deeper relationship with God now. Till now, you were just an acquaintance. You come to the temple, you look at the deities, you say Hare Krishna, bow down, and all of that was happening at level 1. At level 2, what you have now, because at level 2, essentially, there is something else which starts happening. And which will start happening if you start doing something. If you want to progress in a relationship, essentially. Now, the steps that you have to take, how do you move forward? Because you're seeing this problem that you're still not having satisfaction, peace, really. And you are obviously still interested in this word. You may not consider that a problem. That's one thing, because you don't even know much about it. But that problem is there. So you will never get peace and satisfaction also. So you have to progress to level 2. How do you progress to level 2? How do you move forward in this relationship? The way you would do that, you move forward in any relationship for that matter. That's why we're comparing to any relationship. Is now you have to start doing some seva. If you start doing seva, then you will move forward. If you don't do seva, you can't move forward. So steps to level 2 is you start doing seva. Okay. Now, when you start doing seva, the relationship will start developing more. Okay. And what things you will get? You will start gaining. There was another point also, I remember. You will basically start getting you will start getting 2 things. So you now started giving. See, level 1, you are not really actually giving. Yeah, you may be giving some of your time by going to the temple, associating with devotees, but you're not really seriously thinking about giving. Not seriously thinking about giving. This starts happening. When you start giving, you actually start experiencing some peace and satisfaction. Shanti and Santushti now starts coming in your life. Not just Ananda. There's a difference between Ananda and Santi and Santushti. So you start getting peace and satisfaction. And second, you start gaining strength. Tushti Pushti, as we're talking about. You would start getting satisfaction, that is Tushti, and you start getting strength, which is Pushti. So now here you start getting strength. Okay. Now what is that strength that you start to get? The strength you start getting for seva. For what type of seva? Vaishnav seva, Nam seva, and even Shastra seva. You start gaining strength now for serving the Vaishnavas, serving the holy name by chanting, and serving the Shastras by actually reading the Shastras, hearing the Shastras. That's the way you serve the Shastras. Yes. Like yesterday we were there for this manuscript mission visit, and that person was saying, yeah, we are worshipping this deity of the manuscripts. You know, so how can we do anything to try to read it? So that's a wrong idea, because the way you worship the Shastra is not by worshipping it as a deity, by worshipping it as not by worshipping it as a deity, by worshipping it as by reading it, by hearing it. That's where you worship the deity of them. So you start gaining energy for that. And what gets reduced, what now you start developing is a disinterest. You start developing a disinterest in the and that's called vairagya. So you start developing, basically your reduction in interest becomes of this worldly achievements and all goes deeper. That's Shuddha Apaya. You know, what gets reduced, what negative gets reduced. You start developing a deep disinterest. Like previously, like he gives that example. Previously, you may be controlling yourself from watching, unnecessarily so much TV or, faltu ka internet or just useless movies, etc. But now, you actually, एक वो हिंदी में the शब्द is चिढ़ हो जाएगी. आपको you don't want, you have developed a disinterest in them. You could even say you could hate that. You may be hating wasting time by, unnecessary TV and internet or this, or movies, etc. and all of that. You start developing a disinterest in them. In any of these four things, actually. Or or in worldly achievements of money and women and name and fame and knowledge, or you can say all these four. In these four, money, women, Kanaka Kamini Pratishtha. These ones. What is the word you used to use for Pratishtha? Kanaka Kamini and Pratishtha. We use a different word, I remember. Kirti. That's a nice word because it's Kirti. So Kanaka Kamini, Kirti. So Kanaka, Kamini, or Kirti. These are the three, and actually the fourth is just knowledge for the gain of, some people not interested in it, but they're just interested in knowledge. But knowledge also without for bhakti, as we discussed, is also falls into that category. You don't have a desire to develop a relationship, you're just gaining knowledge. That will also be that, but it's subtler. They say sattvic, it's more sattvic. Then Kanaka Kamini, they are very tamasic or rajasic. So Kanaka Kamini, Kirti, and Gyan or knowledge, like that. These are, or you may develop, and all of these manifest in, you could say in TV and movies and internet. You are unnecessary. So much of all of these things, it manifests in all of this. So you start developing a vairagya. Okay. Then the next, but even in this level, this is a good level, you can say, because you have now starting mere satisfaction, santushti. You have got energy for seva. You're doing seva now. Now you're giving to Krishna. You are giving. You started giving to Krishna. You have So you're doing Vaishnav Seva, you're doing Nam Seva, you're doing Gyan Seva, and you are developing a disinterest in the, you're developing a disinterest in the worldly, sense gratification. You're developing Vairagya like that with Kanaka Kamini, Kirti Gyan, TV, movies, internet, etc. But another still a problem will come in this. You think this is a great level. This is like, if you reach a level where you are engaged in seva completely, all kinds of seva you are doing, you're developing vairagya, you would think this is absolutely wonderful. It's a great level, isn't it? However, there is a problem which comes at level 2 also. And the problem that will come is when disturbances will come in life, you will get shaken up. That's the problem. जब तक सब ठीक चल रहा है, हरी 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 हरी. But when disturbances will come in life, then you will think like, okay, I can't handle this. I can't do this anymore. You will go back into your regular thing. Now I have to take care of this and that and all that. You will leave this process or this progress that you are trying to make in seva. Your job should get business में problem आ गई, family में other problem आई, family में relationships में problem आ गई. So many other things which you are relying on. So you are relying on so many things in this world. We don't realize that. I'm relying on the fact that I have good Lakshmi. I'm relying on the fact that I have good family and relationships, etc. These are my shelters. I'm relying on the fact that I have good health. So these are the various places, things that I am taking shelter of. But until I don't lose them, I don't understand that I have their shelter. So I have shelter, I have taken shelter of all of these things. I have shelter of, you can say money. I have shelter of family and friends. I have shelter of health. Yeah. So I have shelter of so many of these. I have shelter of social acceptance. Money, name and fame, or should either you can say name and fame, or at least at the level of social acceptance. I have so many shelters. If any of this shelter is taken away, then my bhakti will be destroyed at level 2. And I can't handle it. I won't be able to take it. If any of these shelters are taken away. Okay? I can't handle it. And this is in different levels, Krishna will test us also. Because of our own karma, we will get some of these things. And Krishna will facilitate in a way for such things to happen in our life. For our own, so that we can make progress in the next level. And in the next level, so at this level, the relationship is, you can compare it to the level as if like he actually says, the relationship will be like you are like a chacha or mama of Krishna. Okay, understand this properly. You're like a chacha or mama of Krishna. So what happens is chacha mama is like extended family. They are not just acquaintance. So they do serve you. Yeah. Chacha mama serve you. In some way they serve you. They will do some seva, work, etc. for you. They are extended family. They will serve you in some way. And, so that relationship is there. However, I'm now when talk about level 3, you will see Chacha Mama are not at level 3. What is level 3? At level 3, you are not just trying to serve Krishna, but you actually start worrying about Krishna. It's a very interesting concept. You start worrying about Krishna. You start worrying about how Krishna is getting troubled, or how Guru is getting troubled, how Vaishnavas are getting troubled. You start worrying about them. You're not worrying about, see, in level 2, in one sense, although you're serving Krishna, you're not worrying about Krishna. Although you're serving Krishna, you're not worrying about Krishna. You are you're doing some seva, you're not worried about the seva. So you can call it that way, essentially. You're worrying still about yourself. Serving Krishna, but worrying only about yourself. Not worrying about Krishna. That is the key point here, difference between level 2 and level 3. In level 3, the intimacy has increased from being an extended family member, Chacha Mama, to an immediate family member, which is mother and father like. So mother and father are not just trying to do some seva, they are actually deeply worried about the child. So you get into that kind of relationship with God where you are worried about doing something for Krishna. You're worried if the mission of the Lord is not getting accomplished. That means chinta starts developing. You start doing chinta, not about yourself. Previously, you were doing chinta for yourself. Now you start doing chinta for Krishna. And you start doing chintan. You develop a deep relationship with Krishna. Your chintan is happening about Krishna. Till now, your chintan is happening about yourself only. And chintan is about what about Krishna? Not just the philosophy, but chintan is about Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela of the Lord. Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. You start developing, you are now developing deeper these things. Naam, Roop, Gun, Leela. Bhagwan ke Naam, Roop, Gun, Leela. You Gun, Leela ke baare mein you will start meditating on them. That's why the way to go from level 2 to level 3 is start hearing the pastimes of the Lord. You start hearing philosophy, that is happening in level 2. But you want to go from level 2 to level 3. So Prabhu is saying there, you also should start hearing Lord's Leela. Start understanding Lord's Leela and Lord's qualities. You start developing a deeper relationship with God in this way. Yes, you intimately start understanding about God. Just like in an immediate family member, the mother and father know so much about the child knows about the mother, you know about the brother and sister, like that. That is, you know intimately about them. Yeah. So that chintan will start happening. Know intimately about Nama Rupa Leela of the Lord. This is immediate family. So this is the place where we want to go. You actually start feeling at this point how much the Lord is doing for me. You're not just thinking about I want to do for God. You start feeling more and more how much, my Lord, you are doing for me. See, level 2, you're not thinking so much. You're thinking, okay, I'm doing for God something. I'm doing some seva at level 2. At level 3, you start thinking how much God is doing for me. My Lord, you have provided me so much. You have provided me everything. You have provided me with this health, with this body. You are the one who's provided me with this good family. You are the one who has provided me with food every day, with the sun and the moon every day. Everything you are providing me. What to speak of, you are providing me this opportunity for seva. How special is that you're providing me this opportunity for seva? So that is the key point here, that you have provided, at different levels, you're providing me sun and moon. etc. You are providing me with, air, Panch Mahabhut, all of that. You are providing me with you have provided me with this body, good health. You have provided me with family. And what to speak of, you have provided me with this opportunity for seva, to connect with you. So you start feeling so much obliged. In level, start feeling very, very more and more obliged. Like that. So like they used to, like Gauranga Prabhu also says this, seva ka phal hai seva. So you are getting an opportunity to serve. In level 3, you start thinking, oh my God, I'm so fortunate to get the opportunity to serve. He is giving me an opportunity. So how great is that? And what will reduce in level 3, you actually, even when disturbances come, you will not get disturbed. This is what will happening in level 3. When disturbances come, in technical terms, it's called as samsar vismaran. Samsar ka vismaran hoga. You will, when disturbances come in your life, because you realize you have developed a deeper connection with God. This is not my home. You start realizing it more. This is not my home. I belong to Krishna. I belong to Goloka Vrindavan. So I'm supposed to be there. I'm supposed to be there. And because I've realized the loving affection of God, I will start seeing that anything coming to my life is His mercy and His unfathomable love. Both of things will start happening. So with that, basically, samsar vismaran ho jayega. This is not my home. Everything coming to me. So something is happening in a neighbor's house. Do you care about that? You will say, that's not my home. That's not something I will do with. You similarly start feeling about your own life. That if whatever negative things so-called you feel are happening in your life, it's almost like as if it's happening in a neighbor's life. It doesn't, you are here for some time, you have to leave. That's it. So you don't get disturbed by that. That's what happens in level 3. But there is still another problem with level 3, which is saying that you actually start feeling depressed and morose. It's very interesting. People think becoming depressed and morose should happen at the very start, once you start progressing. But after progressing, it's a different level of depression and moroseness that hardly I'm able to do anything for the Lord. So an advanced devotee at level 3 starts feeling depressed and morose that, oh my Lord, I'm not able to do anything for you. Very interesting. And then you start going to level 4. In level 4 is you are already a part of the immediate family of the Lord, but actually you become even in immediate family, some people are like your soulmates, like you are really close to them. So it would be husband and wife, or it could be some brother and sister. You may not be so close to every brother and sister, but some brother and sister you are very close to. So at level 4, you start becoming extremely intimate, soulmate, to the extent that what the symptom which starts developing is you start feeling deeper separation from the Lord. Oh my Lord, I'm so, I'm so fallen, I've gone away from you and all of that, and I'm not there. You are not here right now, I'm here. You start feeling deeper separation from the Lord. Actually, a deep separation. And actually, the tushti pushti which starts happening is, you see, till the level 2, you were actually getting a lot of santushti, you were getting ananda. At level 4, you start feeling a kind of a alaukic ananda. It is, you don't even understand whether you are happy or unhappy. It is like a transcendental level of ananda. You may start feeling very unhappy sometime. You start feeling very happy sometime. All kinds of emotions will start happening. Just like, a mother, she's with a child. Sometimes she's very unhappy about the child, something, sometimes she's very happy. She's full of deep levels of emotions about the child. But in that deep, sometimes you may see she's crying so much. But that's a different kind of happiness also. So all deep levels of bhavs will start happening at this level, essentially. So it's kind of alaukik ananda. And what gets reduced is in level 3, you've forgotten about God, you've forgotten about the world, essentially. Whatever happens in this world, you're never getting dispute of sansar vismaran. At level 4, it happens deha vismaran, which means you even forget that about the material body altogether. You forget the fact that you are, even that you are, older or young or man or woman or this and all. You even forget that because you are already established in a spiritual body in that sense. Although you're externally appearing as if you're in this body, but you have decontacted, essentially. The decontact has already happened. And Bhagavatam gives the example of a nariyal, which from inside, if it gets decontacted, and from the surface altogether. So you are in the body, but you are decontacted from the body altogether. So Deha Vismaran happens and you are situated in a spiritual, although you are in this world, but as Lord Jesus Christ said, you are not of this world. So Deha Vismaran happens. So these are the 4 levels which are there. I will just do a very quick summary of this. Again, all of this, my dear friends, is only about one thing, and which is relationship. Remember always that Krishna is a person. The Lord is a person. He's the bestest person, and I am the one responsible for breaking my relationship with him. Because I've broken my relationship with him, that is the problem, only problem I'm trying to solve. So, process of bhakti is about developing that relationship. And we're talking about these different levels here. At level 0 are the people who are not interested in any kind of relationship with God. That's unfortunately a huge majority of the people in this world, who Krishna calls as Dushkritina, where they are Mudha, Naradhama, Mayaparta, Jnana, or Asura. They have no relationship with God. They have no interest in developing any connection with God. They may know something about him, but they're not interested in any connections with the Lord. Right? And they treat Krishna as if we treat people in this world. You may know a person, but you don't have desire to develop a relationship. The process of bhakti starts when you want to develop a relationship. In level 1 to 4, you want to develop a relationship. At level 1, you're like an acquaintance. At level 1, you're basically just trying to gain from the Lord. You are only trying to take something from the Lord. By the way, all of this we'll talk in terms of Tushti Pushti Sudhapaya. Tushti Pushti is, means when you eat food, you get some satisfaction, you get some nourishment, and your hunger reduces. Similarly, at different levels, Tushti, Pushti, and Sudhapaya happens. You gain some things and you gain something positive, lose something negative. That's how you understand where you are in the bhakti. And it could be even further classified to gaining satisfaction and nourishment and losing, and losing something negative. So at level 1, you're an acquaintance. You are like a business partner, you can say, you're trying to gain something from the Lord. What you gain ananda. Because you're connected with the temple, you're connected with the devotees, you're trying to follow some things, right? It becomes a good social gathering for you, right? You may also do some seva sometimes, like that. So you start feeling happy about it. So most people are there and they start feeling happy. You are, and what happens, what gets reduced, your senses are not running so wild. You're not so crazy about worldly accomplishment, money, women, name, fame, and knowledge. And but at the same time, you're only primarily taking. So if you want to move to the next level, well, now why should you try to move to the next level? Because you will not get any satisfaction. Deeper satisfaction you will not get in this level. And you'll still be interested in the worldly accomplishments. Right? So you're really at the surface level in level 1. You want to go deeper, you have to start doing one thing. You have to start doing seva. If you start doing seva, you start moving towards level 2. In level 2, what do you gain? You gain peace and satisfaction. Shanti and santushti you start getting. Okay, that's a tushti. But the pushti also, you start getting some energy. You start getting energy. You started doing the seva, Lord will start giving you energy for the seva. For what kinds of seva? Vaishnava seva, Nama seva, Jnana seva. You know, serving the devotees, serving the holy names, serving shastras by gaining knowledge, by reading, hearing, etc. All of this will start happening. Okay. So you are serving Krishna at this level. And what you start losing interest in sense gratification. You start developing a disinterest in sense gratification. You start developing a disinterest in Kanaka Kamini, Kirti and Jnana. You start developing in disinterest in, let's say, in previous level 1, you were still having the interest in all of these things deeply. Now you start developing a disinterest, or even in TV, movies, internet, and all of the unnecessary things, you start developing a disinterest. You even start hating some of these things. That's good. You're going to level 2. However, there is a problem in this. The problem is when disturbance come into life, you will not be able to take that. That will be the problem. Because you don't realize it, but you are taking shelter currently. I am currently taking shelter of money and family and health and social acceptance. I'm taking help of these things. And if any of these shelters are taken away, I will not be able to handle it. I will digress from this path of developing a relationship with Krishna. Hence, it is important I move to level 3. How do I move to level 3? I have to start connecting with the Lord more intimately by not just understanding philosophy, but understanding the Nama, Rupa, Guna and Leela of the Lord. And that's moving from being an extended family member to an intimate, immediate family member, like that. And what happens in this case? You will start, the positive things will start happening is, you will start not just serving about the Lord, but you will start worrying about Krishna. You start worrying about the mission of the Lord. That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Am I worried about the mission of the Lord? That at level 2, you're not worried. You're doing something. And level 3, you started taking responsibility. That's the key word in level 2, you may not have taken responsibility. In level 3, you took responsibility. That's why Prabhupada used to say, you progress in Krishna consciousness by how you take the responsibility. When you take responsibility, worry will follow. Why is a parent worried and a chacha mama not worried? Because chacha mama have not taken responsibility of the child. But parent has taken a responsibility of the child. So they are worried about this, right? Chacha mama are, good well-wishers, are serving, etc. No responsibility. So responsibility is the key thing which starts happening in level 3. So you want to progress to level 3, you think I'll go to level 3, I will never take any responsibility. You will never get to level 3. Never get to level 3 if you don't take. There are so many of us. We are like, I don't want to take responsibility, in Krishna consciousness. I want to take never get to level 3 without responsibility. This is the key takeaway you can get. So take some responsibility. Be accountable. Be accountable. I will take this. I will do this. I am taken this. I own this. Ownership will turn iron into gold. And secondly, do chintan. Means you are hearing the pastimes of the Lord, not just philosophy of the Lord. What happened in this pastime of the Lord? Why did he act like this? Why did the devotees act like this? Pastime of the Lord and his devotees, not just of the Lord. Why did the devotees act like this? Including the current devotees, Srila Prabhupada, his disciples, their pastimes. Bhagavatam devotees and current devotees, hear their pastimes. Develop that deeper relationship with them, like that. So this will be the case. You will start feeling in level 3 more and more how much the Lord is doing for me. It happens, right? The child immediately doesn't realize how much the parent is doing for the child. Later he realizes, oh my God, how much my father was doing for me. how much my teachers were doing for me. He started realizing that. The child realizes this later, right? Realizes this realization that how much the father is doing for me, how much my parents did for me. So right now, I'm not realizing how much my Lord is doing for me. That will start happening. That will start happening. How much the parent is doing for me. You know, he's giving me the sun, the moon, the air, and everything. He's giving me my health. He's given me my family. And most importantly, he's given me opportunity for seva. So I start feeling more and more obliged. And with all of that, I'm so absorbed in Krishna. I'm so absorbed in Goloka Vrindavan, in this seva. This seva means you're absorbed in Goloka Vrindavan with responsibility, that I will start realizing this is not my home. This material world I have nothing to do with. And samsara vismaran will start happening. With that absorption only, with that responsibility only, this will happen. So absorbed, so responsible, so absorbed, so obliged, so responsible, that I will start realizing this is not my home. I have a different home. And, that way samsara vismaran will happen. And I will start realizing also everything that coming to me is Lord's unfathomable love. I will not get disturbed now with the things happening in this world. I have nothing to do with them. It's like happening in a neighbor's place. It's a gradual start. But the problem again will happen in level 3. You actually start feeling more depressed and morose at how less I'm doing for God. It's an extremely high level. So level 4. Now level 4, you can only go, Prabhu says, by Vaishnava and Ishwar Kripa. If Vaishnavas bless you, Ishwar Kripa happens, you will start. At level 4, you start feeling deeper separation from the Lord. You start experiencing a kind of happiness which is beyond this world. In fact, you start feeling it's a mixture of all different kinds of emotions, bhava, ananda, bhava, this and other things. You won't even know whether you're feeling happiness or not. It's transcendental. It cannot be understood properly. And you actually forget even that you get decontact happens. You don't even understand where, you will, because you are now situated in your spiritual world, in the spiritual body, you can call it a Swarupa Siddhi. So you don't even, you know that you are not this body, you're not this man or woman or Indian or American or any of these things. So not just Sansar Vismaran, but Deha Vismaran will start happening. So these are the levels, so very, very high levels. But by looking at some of this, we can see how we can move from level 1 to level 2. The practical points of how I can move to level 3 by doing more responsibility and chinta and chintan about the Lord, like that. Start feeling more obliged, more absorbed in that way. Start moving towards level 2, then level 3, and all of that. So more and more we can start. We may pull back also, there'll be times you'll be down, but gradually you have to start developing more and more by this seva, by this absorption in the Lord's pastimes, by taking responsibility in the seva of the Lord, like that. If we develop this, then we will move in these relationships move on further and further to finally become soulmates of the Lord and his devotees. And only then can we go back. You can go back to somebody's home and stay with him only when you become soulmates with him. You become so close to the Lord, or at least at level 3, where you have become a member of the immediate family. The immediate family stays together. Extended family doesn't stay together, right? So if you want to go and stay in Lord's home, you have to become a part of his immediate family. That's level 3. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. My heartfelt obeisances to our wonderful devotees who have heard this either now or hopefully may hear in the future. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you for summarizing this all levels such a.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Detailed way. Thank you, Prabhu, for summarizing all the levels in such a detailed way. I sincerely appreciate that, and also putting that in this format. one thing what I was thinking is better if you can put it in a tabular format, like
Yeah, I
putting
will be.
like
Yeah, that's
column
the next step.
level 0,
What we
1,
will
2,
do is
3,
we'll
4.
take this again next time. And by that time,
Yeah,
this has to go in a tabular format, obviously. Yes.
yeah, tabular format, like a column is level 0, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And the row is what are the symptoms and what
Yes.
are the
Everything. Yes.
feelings, what are the feelings, what are the symptoms, what is the problem of this people in this
Yes.
level. And next is how can we transition from levels, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, everything, everything,
what are
everything.
the scriptures, what scriptures help, and what are the examples of the devotees, as many as possible within each level.
Okay, examples is
That,
another thing. Yeah, yeah, I think
yeah,
examples is a good point.
yeah, so that way actually people
Examples
will,
at different levels. Yeah, I
yeah,
can be examples at different levels. Now, obviously, at
that
level
way,
4 and all,
yeah,
you can talk about Prahlad Maharaj, others, and all of that. But
yeah,
we can take examples. I did little bit, but we can take more examples. How a devotee, at level 1, what is he doing typically? A devotee at level 1.
yeah,
What is a
yeah,
devotee at level 2 doing? As I said, one of the
yeah,
things was responsibility. A devotee at
activities,
level
yeah,
3
yeah,
is like super, super
responsibilities or
responsible.
activities, yeah,
He's very responsible. He's absorbed. He's like, if he cannot do that seva, this is one of the things. And so that's one of the things. So you have to do something for Krishna. We know they're becoming caring and remembering about the mission of the Lord so much. See, that's why people in Prabhupada's time progressed so quickly, because they took responsibility like anything. They were running temples, they were doing this, they were just like, so many targets they had. Ye achieve karna hai, wo karna hai, wo karna hai. It's like, everything was that's part of it. They were taking that responsibility and giving those reports to Prabhupada, because for them serving Prabhupada was not just to feel good. They were serving Prabhupada to make Prabhupada feel good. Just making Krishna feel good. And so that's another very important point which is there. So yeah, some of these examples we can give these examples at different levels, then we can try to apply it. We'll try to apply. Then this application can be made. We are meant to go to level 3 at least. We are. We shouldn't think, I don't want to. I am so low. That's the thing which is there. Either it may be a problem that I am already subtly thinking that I am already at the high level. That's one problem. Or the other problem is I don't have even the motivation or understanding to go to a high level. I'm thinking, oh, it's too high. I don't even want to get there. Yeah, but it should be there. No, it is too high. I know how it is to be very high, but I realize I'm low and I want to move forward, and there is a science by which I can do so. That is the point.
yeah. One question I'll ask you, since you have explained it so nicely, where do you think you are? Which level do you think you are?
Well, that's very difficult to kind of, it's like, what I was thinking, I keep rolling between level 0, where I've completely forgotten. I don't want to even
No,
develop.
Prabhu, you are not level 0 for sure.
No, I'm just saying, I think, see, that's very, it's like, you can say that you keep oscillating between that, but gradually,
No,
if you become more and more stable, then you will start moving towards more and more like
no,
it's like we keep oscillating between sattva, rajas, and tamas, right? Sometimes we are in tamas, but there will maybe a certain place where we are at a, some people are more in sattva and then much less in the other. And more means even
no,
according to
Prabhu.
the time. So similarly, I think this happens because if you take a level 0, yeah, we heard so many times
You
level
are
0.
not even 0, Prabhu. You are not 0. See, we are approaching Krishna. Artho, Jignasur,
Yeah,
Artharthi,
so
Jnanicha,
exactly.
right?
So
We are among the four
I'm
of
just
them. So
saying
at
we are
least
not at
level,
0. Yeah, in general,
we are
we are
not at
not
0.
because we are trying
Yeah.
to. That's right. I was a little bit.
Yeah.
But a level 1 is, yeah. But a lot of times our mentality could be like level 1. That I am just,
Yeah.
a level mentality is level 1. I want to, my mentality is not to give, my mentality is to take only.
Yeah.
And my
What I
mentality
was
is
thinking,
only,
yeah.
even level 1 mein the mentality is, I'm thinking about progressing, but I'm not thinking about giving. I want to start thinking about giving. In level 2 mein hi thoda giving ka thoda aa jata hai. It's like, at least the thinking should also happen in terms of giving. Otherwise, I'm getting lost in my own ananda. I'm happy. I'm happy in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
That
So
is
what
level
is
1. I'm
happening?
happy.
Yeah.
I'm not happy in sense gratification. That is level 0. But I'm happy in Krishna consciousness. I'm happy. My senses are not running so wild. I don't become so crazy. You know, I can control my mind somewhat so that I'm not so deeply caught up in the sense gratification. I am visiting the temple. I'm associating with the devotees. I'm having a nice social conversations with the devotees. All of that. I'm hearing some classes also and all of that. It's all good. It's all happening very nice. What's the problem? That's
Yeah.
so now what? Oh, there is a problem. I am not serious about giving to the Lord. And the problem will be I'm not going to feel deep satisfaction. That's what Prabhu is saying. A deeper satisfaction only come with deeper seva. And I should start feeling more energy coming from the Lord. If I'm not getting energy to serve, that means I'm not at level 2. That's the problem.
I think if I am looking at this closely, what I am thinking is we are not completely in level 1 or not completely in level 2. We are oscillating between level 1 and level 2. हम लोग 80% लेवल 1 में हैं, कभी कभी लेवल 2 में जंप होके फिर लेवल 1 में आ रहा है. Like for example, serving Krishna but worrying about ourselves, about yourself, not worrying about Krishna much. ये तो level 2 में है ना. So we are serving Krishna, of course. You are giving, you are doing service for BRC, all.
I'm not worrying about
So
this.
yeah, so that means we are not completely in level 2, but then we are trying to completely give up level 1 and go to level 2, but we have not completely. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm thinking for myself. I am like 80-90% level 1 or 10% level 2 में कभी-कभी जाके आता है.
Yeah, but that is where actually we should see, to go to level 2 is even to try for level 3. Try for level 3, level 2 will already start happening more.
Yeah.
Level 3 you have to take responsibility. And level 3 you have to become more and more absorbed in the Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela also of the Lord. Start hearing about the Lord and his devotees more and more. Not just in terms of philosophy, but start hearing about Lord as a person. His Nam, Rupa, Guna, Leela. Start hearing and speaking that more and more also. We should also do that here. Connect with Krishna as a person. Connect with the devotees as, or also Lord devotees pastimes that way, or Krishna's pastimes like that. Connect with that also more and take responsibility for Krishna. So Chinta and Chintan, that's level 3. When you start doing that, level 2 will also happening more. You start getting more energy because level 3 includes level 2, right? So you shoot for level 3. Shoot for level 3. You will get level. Don't shoot low. Shoot for level 3. You will start feeling more obliged. Remember this. I should be more obliged about the Lord. Start remembering that this is not my home. My home is Goloka Vrindavan. That's where Krishna is. And I have separated myself from Krishna. Start remembering that. Read and hear and serve with that remembrance in mind. Yeah, that makes sense. So you shoot for level 3, level 2 will happening also more and more. Your level 2 position will start becoming stronger. And then level 3 will also start creeping into your life. Don't shoot so low. Especially after 20 years, 10, 15 years already happened, na?
Yeah.
So why to shoot low? Shoot high and level 2 will also start happening more and more. Keep trying. I'm trying many of these. So there are different things. When we try to compile it next time, we can try to compile it this way. That, the different steps you can take. More, Prabhu has already given a few, but I added this point of the responsibility, because chinta doesn't happen without responsibility. So you have
Yeah.
Chinta will happen when you take responsibility. So you do chinta, you are connecting with the Lord's pastimes, hearing the Lord's pastimes, etc. You are feeling obliged. You also start remembering that I am separated myself from the Lord. He calls it a vastave viraha. It's a fact. So I'm trying to remember the fact that, my Lord, I have separated myself from you. I mean, what a nonsense I am. I'm currently separate from you. So that way, this is viraha. Also, you can try to remember this. You may not cry in viraha, but you can remember viraha.
Hmm.
Remember that I have separated from you, my Lord. It's a fact. I'm here rotting in this material world, away from Golok Vrindavan. Is it true or not? So some of these things, we can examples at different levels and actions at different levels. We can analyze it more next time. And we can come up
Yeah.
with specific things you can take in your life that will take you start taking you to level 3. That's my point. Start taking you to level 3. And then 2 and 1 will happen more and more. Anyway, 2 will happen more and more, let's say. And you will be hardly at level 0. You will start oscillating between 3, 2, and 1 more and more. And start going more and more to 3, then fall back to 2 sometimes, fall back to 1, but again go to 3, like that. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Well, what an analysis, no? By Prabhu.
Yeah. Amazing. Excuse me.
It's really amazing. It's very practical.
Yeah.
That's my main point. It's very practical. And it's all about relationship with Krishna. That's
Yeah.
it. We will end with some golden comments from our Acharya. He was sitting in deep meditation throughout this whole thing. He was so deep in meditation that even I was in awe about this. I said, oh my God. Anything you would want to say, Prabhu, before we end this today? The book part more. It's interesting, huh? The way he has compiled it, basically. And this is, and he has done this, Prabhuji has done this with he has done deep studies. So, apne ko the package will get, I'm just repeating and trying to understand what he's saying. But, he has really because he has read so much of the Shastras, of different sampradayas also. Because he has analyzed it so much, he said, now I have compiled it. After all his analysis. It makes complete logical, amazing work. It makes logical sense. It's all about relationship. When you were talking about Bhakti, Bhakti means relationship. संबंध क्या है आपका? लेकिन वो संबंध की एक साइंस है. खाली भाव नहीं है. संबंध is a science. A relationship is a science. That's the whole point. Relationship is not just bhav. That science, when you learn and you practice. Okay, thank you so much, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Prabhu, thank you so
We'll
much.
see you again. Yeah. We'll see you. Thank you, Anurag Prabhu. See you then.
Okay, yeah, we will do a
Sure.
repetition of this next time and put
Sure.
it in a structured format, and
Yeah, put it in a tabular format, Prabhu. Yeah, that will be great.
then I can share with you also. You share with others, Prabhu.
Yeah. Share it with me, and then we can add more points to it, and then yeah. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.